Hi wizards, witches, and golden snitches. This is Deanna from the future editing this video, realizing that she deleted the video which had the intro to this series. So please enjoy this voiceover of me explaining my new shadow work series in not so many details. I'm really excited to come back with a new series. If you haven't checked out my other videos in my channel, you'll see that I have this series called Dating Myself as a Witch, and how I use, specifically from this studio called All About Me Studios. I'll link their website down below with their product. I'm using their solo date deck and their solo date journal to kind of connect deeper with myself and also my magic. Well, this studio came out with a different set of cards and a different journal called Healing Me, Myself, and I. And so this is a 52 card self-care deck, and then the accompanying journal to go with it. So this journey, I kind of want it to reflect similar to a shadow work journey, but more so I want it to be a self-care journey, and just how important it is, not only as a person but as a spiritual person, that we are taking care of our physical bodies, our physical minds, when we are doing the spiritual work. So without further ado, here is the deck. Again, it's like set up very similarly, like color wise, to the solo date deck. It's the same font, everything. And then here is the journal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and open up the deck, and I'm gonna show you the key. So with each of these decks, there is like a key of how the cards are set up. So first off, we have location, which is you can do it at home, you can do it out, or flexible is it can be done anywhere. So that's home or out and about. And then instead of having price points like the solo deck has, it has time limits. So if it's short, it's under 30 minutes. If it's medium, it's 30 to 60 minutes. Long is an hour plus. And then if it's not graded in on the pie chart, it's gonna depend. So I'm really excited to see what self-care items are in this deck and what comes up. Something else that I wanted to point out on the cards that I think is really cool. So you can see like on the top here, it's got like a specific kind of like overall activity theme. And so this one says pamper, this one says reconnect, and this one says reflect. And then also at the bottom of the cards, you can kind of see like there's the different like time limits at the bottom. And then the location is also there on the bottom. First things first, you know the drill. We gotta set up the journal, and we have to do the inner reflection first before we can pick a card. So let's get cracking. Okay, so the journal reflection is done, and I think a couple of things that I wrote on it were really enlightening just already before we even start our first self-care date. I wanted to mention two things because I think it's really important, especially when I go back through this series and I reflect, kind of like where I start to where I end. And one of the questions was, what tends to stop you from prioritizing yourself, and can you work around this? And I said the things that stop me are mental procrastination, anxiety, and sometimes my energy levels with my autoimmune disorder. And what I said, how I can work around this, is having grace with myself. I know that's something that I constantly struggle, and I'm sure a lot of people struggle with. So it's going to be really learning how to balance my setting my own expectations with the reality of where I'm at physically and mentally during the day, and then coming to a conclusion and a compromise that I can live with. The other question that was like really like made me stop, like, what's your biggest concern or fear about starting this journey? And the first thing that came to my mind was failing. And again, setting expectations and then setting myself up to disappoint myself. And I've had astrology readings that said that I'm in this constant cycle of self-sabotage, and I've really been trying to work on it, not only just through witchcraft, but through therapy and through shadow work. And so I think this will not only be a great different take on shadow work, but I think it's going to be really great with self-development and really focusing on that self-sabotage and finding compromise between expectation versus reality. Hi, scene change. And as you can see, we have a little crasher here. I really couldn't finish filming these because I was at my mom's house visiting family. So now that I am back in my own space, I am able to go ahead and open these up, and we are going to intuitively pick a healing date, a shadow work activity. I don't know what to call these yet, but I think we'll figure out a name. We'll figure out a name. Let me hold it up a little higher so you can see the cards. I'm intuitively shuffling, so whatever is in my highest and best to complete today. Woo! Okay, I have one that fell down on the ground, so we're gonna go ahead and probably go with that one. Let me get it. And the one that fell on the ground, which I absolutely 100% can accomplish, and honestly, low-key, I've been doing it all week, but we are going to watch a feel-good movie. Pick a movie that makes you laugh, warms your heart, or just leaves you feeling good. Curl up with a blanket, your favorite snack, and let yourself relax and enjoy the moment. Bonus points if you stay off your phone during it. Okay, I have to take Minnie to the vet because baby girl needs to get her international health exam so she can come with me to Ireland. And then after that, I think I have a couple of meetings, but tonight we will be watching a feel-good movie. Okay, I have my comfort meal, and now I'm gonna queue up one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's got Kevin Costner, Morgan Freeman in it, and I love this movie so much. So now we're going to relax, eat some food, and watch my comfort movie. We had a slight hiccup about loading the movie because I forgot that my Prime account isn't on my laptop, it's my mom's account, and the only way I can watch it is on my phone right now. So we're switching gears and we're gonna watch the Disney version. I'm telling you, this scene did something to me as a child, and I still think about it. I mean, just look Look how romantic that is. Cartoon boxes have a more romantic love life than I do, and that's okay. That's okay. I got another hot dog. Well deserved.
Say, we better get over to the church. Sounds like somebody's getting hitched.
They look so pretty. I love how pretty they look.
It appears that I now have an outlaw for an in-law. Not bad.
Gee, Skippy, how come you're going? Well, I'm just gonna have kids, so somebody's gonna keep their eye on things. Oh, I've never been so happy.
I love happy endings. And then they say bye to everybody. And we're back at the
Hey,
rock.
here come the bride, Trigger. Present! Well, folks, that's the way it really happened.
I really need to be better about not procrastinating the second part of these vlogs. But now that we have finished our healing activity, it is time to get the journal back out and record our findings. Okay, and that wraps up our first self-healing vlog. I'm really excited, really easy one to just kind of like start off and knock it out of the park. I will say though, I thought this one was kind of boring, which is why I gave it a 4 out of 5. I mean, for me, it was enjoyable. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like editing it, especially right now, it was kind of boring for people to watch. But, you know, I feel like this journey is less about, I'm trying to think how to word this. I think it's more about my self-reflection and being able to connect deeper with myself. And it's less about entertainment in a daily vlog that you would find on YouTube. So if the series is boring, I'm sorry for that, but I guess that is not the intention and what this book and this deck of cards set out to do. However, I will see you next time when we decide to do another self-healing date. I don't know if I'm gonna call it, is that a good word? Self-healing date? Shadow work date? That has a ring to it. Shadow work date. Maybe that's what we'll call these. Shadow work dates.